welcome back to the show where we allow you to express yourself in the kitchen. Now, Noza, as a musician, are you much of a chef?
I love cooking. Like, one of the things that I always say is, if I wasn't an artist, I would probably be a chef.
I get me. Watch out, girl, because she's coming out swinging. Cooking onions are often the base of a dish, and usually they get hidden away. But today, we have chosen to make them the highlight of your New Year's Eve party. These grilled red onions with feta, sage, honey, and walnut will sure to be the star of the show. Now, Dumi, before Noza becomes the star of your kitchen, show us how we are able to elevate these red onions.
Right, before we get into the onions, we're going to be making a filling or a topping for them to make sure that we celebrate the onion. And what we're doing when we're saying we're celebrating it, we're not going to be putting it inside of anything. We're going to be putting something inside the actual onion. So what I've got here is I've got some walnuts that I'm toasting up and then I'll crush after that. And I'm going to be making somewhat of a dressing or sauce that's going to go inside of this mixture. So we've got some walnuts, I've got some white wine vinegar over here. I've also got some crushed chilies. I'm adding into this a bit of honey. Now, this is in essence going to be a mixture that we're going to put together. It's going to be nice and thick, allowing you to be able, in essence, to hold the onion and eat everything in one bite. As you can see, we're celebrating that whole New Year's flavor. So we want to make sure that if you are entertaining, you don't have to worry about the COVID issues of people touching too many things. So people can just take a bite of their stuff and enjoy that. And into this as well, I'm going in with a bit of salt and some pepper. Now, I'm going to crumble the feta in now, but at the end, so I don't want to put that in now, but maybe you can actually start by cutting the onions for me, and we're using red onions. So you're just cutting them in half and then just brushing them with a bit of olive oil.
Are you much of an onion fan?
I'm an onion fan, especially red onion.
Yes.
Especially red onion. In my salads, I like to make wraps. So I would cut my onion as raw as it is, put it on a wrap, maybe with some mayonnaise or something like that, but I love onions.
And then into this, I'm adding some of our walnuts that I toasted up earlier. And before we go too far, I also want to give people a tip. We're going to be adding sage to this mixture. And as you know, sage is a hard herb. Now, before I add it into here, I don't want to add it raw. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm also just going to be frying it up a bit. And what this does, it actually infuses the oil that we're also going to be putting in here, allowing the flavors of the sage to actually stick out and pop out. So as you taste and eat, take a bite of this food, you're going to be able to taste the sage and not necessarily get overpowered by its flavors.
Stunning. So, Dumi, as you are speaking about sage, Noza, I also know you love your herbs. You love those aromatics in the kitchen. What herbs do you normally like to play with and eat and add into your mixtures? Here we're doing sage. Dumi, we're having mint as well.
I love thyme. We've got a lot of thyme in my garden, but also sage. Sage is great. I'm more of I like a mixture of different green herbs. So I think most of the time it would be your thyme, your sage. I'm not big with spices, so I like herbs. So I'm not very, like, you know, a lot of people like to cook with too much spices and they tend the food.
And it becomes something else.
It becomes something else, definitely.
Okay, so right now, Dumi, I'm just helping out Unoza here. I know we've separated the first onion. I just want to see the difference. If we were to grill up, you see, oh, that doesn't work. I see why, Dumi, you asked us to make it whole, because this is easier to grill up like that.
Right. The reason we're doing that is because we just want to get these beautiful grill marks that we have here, where the outside is nice and grilled up. And what that does, it presents very beautifully once you're going to plate up your dish. So I'm just going to start plating it up here just so you can see what exactly we're going for.
Dumi, we're grilling it now. What if we were to put it in the oven? Let me put down the heat for you, Noza.
The thing is, if you're trying to cook the entire onion, you can do that. But what we're trying to do is we want to still make sure that we keep the body of the onion itself. So I'm not going to do all of them. I just want to show you. We're keeping the body as is. And now I'm going to scoop our filling here so I can actually add our feta. The flavors we've got here, we've got some honey, we've also got some of the salt, but then we're adding some feta to this, and we've chosen to use the elite clover feta cheese. It's got elite texture, elite taste, elite quality. I mean, it's been crafted with that Clover's 5-step crafting process, making it the perfect addition to this dish, because you've got the flavors of the herbs, you've got the flavors of the sweetness of the onion, and it just brings out that saltiness of the dish.
Absolutely. Now, Noza might be hot, but it seems as if her pan is even hotter. This dish is tasty, it is sweet, and absolutely the perfect appetizer on any New Year's party. And if you would like to get this recipe, head over to afternoonexpress.co.za.
Clover cheese is for those who love life, where everything falls into place and melts away our cares, adding joy and stretching our imagination. Elite quality, elite taste, elite texture.
Made with love by Clover.